Before we get out of here, let's talk about what Joe Roberts did because pretty impressive for a guy who struggled at the beginning of the year through injuries. He seems. I don't remember how. Did he win a race last year?
I think he won a few.
Or he was on a podium. I mean, I think maybe Mugello. He was on Mugello on the podium or something like that. What you guys thoughts of that? It's pretty good to see. The team winning. It's good for him because him and like Jake Dixon, these guys have been in Moto2 now for a minute. And you got all these young riders that are getting talked about week in and week out and stuff like that. What do you guys think of that? What Joe Roberts did this past weekend?
I think it was. I mean, I didn't know all the history about him and this track. I think it's like his debut at this track a few years back, or he has a lot of history with this track. So to come back and about to go into summer break, he even said it himself that it gives you confidence. You want to go out there and do the best you can, and he said, "I'm winning this race." So. It was really good to actually finally hear someone American speak on the podium with the Moto2 series. So I'm really happy. Hearing the national anthem and everything. So I'm really happy to finally see him back up there. Last year he had a really good run, kind of faded toward the end, but it was really good to see Joe back up there. Didn't really expect it, but like I said, I didn't know the history that he had with this track. A lot of people have some history with this track, and they do pretty well. So,
yeah. The fact that he won there last time just shows he's got some favorites. It's good to see, obviously, an American, be up there in the European, pretty much the European League is what it should be called because they're just dominating in every aspect, two wheels. So even Tour de France stuff, right? So, but it's good to see that, man. I mean, we need more American guys up there coming back from his injury just to see a comeback and have that happen. I mean. That's what we all love athletes for is just those stories where they go through adversity and still able to make it to the top, especially in this case, a podium. So it's just always good to see that.
I just took a quick look and it looks like it's his the third time he's been on the top step since he got to Moto2. So he hasn't had a lot of visits. So whenever he can get a visit, that's great. And coming off of he had an injury. It kind of messed him up. It took him out of the game for a while, but coming back from an injury and getting on a top step, hopefully that gives him some confidence going forward. I know he just signed a new deal, so he's going to stay with the team a little bit longer. So hopefully this is a sign of good things to come. Hopefully the team can continue to give him a competitive bike and he can kind of keep going forward. I mean, it sucks to only have, one guy in all of GP that's an American. So, hearing our national anthem over the speakers, I'm sure the people in Europe were like, "Oh, I never heard that before." It's like the first time I've ever heard that. What is that? What's that sound? That's pretty funny, but it's pretty good, man. I hope the kid well. He's still got a good amount of career in front of him, and hopefully he can keep doing it. And as for Jake Dixon, we mentioned him really briefly. If you guys haven't seen, it looks like he's going to World Superbike, and like I told you, he'll never see a MotoGP bike, and neither will Aaron Canet. So,
Aaron had a.
Sorry. No. I was just when he said the name, I was just so disappointed. So, I don't know. I think he screwed himself in a way because.
Who's that?
And qualifying, Aaron Canet.
Okay.
Yep.
And qualifying, he crashed. So he didn't get a chance to, get on the road that he should be on. And him going through turn one when the race starts, you try to jump to the front, and it's just so unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's just
pretty unfortunate. What do you guys think of Ramirez? Should he knew he had 2 long lap penalties. Should he even have been battling with Joe in the beginning? I can understand another brand, but you know.
That's a tough one, but somebody after the race probably went up to him and like, yo, let me talk to you a minute. One of the OnlyFans team managers probably went up to him and say, hey, let's come over here where somebody can't hear you scream because I want to talk to you about something. And probably like gave him a good, like I would have punched him in the face. I'd be like, yo, you're fighting for nothing. And you're literally going to take out almost your own team rider that's doing much better when you got to make like, you know, you're going to lose 8.5, 9 seconds going through the long lap penalty. Like, what the hell are you doing? You think you're going to get a 9-second lead that you've never had in your entire career in Moto2? Like, again, this is young people making stupid decisions at the moment. Like, somebody probably should have spoken to him before the race, because sometimes these are things that in the moment when you have the helmet on, you don't think about because you're so worried about corner to corner and your apexes and your braking and your gearing and everything else that you don't have that
who's on the other bike.
Yeah, well, you don't have that bigger field of view. You know, not everybody has that Marquez field of view where he can calculate tire pressure and laps and this and that. You know, this guy's just, I'm trying to get to the next turn. Stop! I'm trying to get to the next turn. And he done thinking, oh shit, I got to do a long lap penalty. I'm going to lose this much time. Even if I get to the front, I'm still going to end up in the back. Like, why am I going to possibly take my own teammate out? Like, these are the things you really got to think about. And when you make those kind of decisions on a bike and make those kind of mistakes, that's the kind of thing that high-level managers look at and say, this guy doesn't have that it factor for the mentality to do what he needs to do.
Unless your name Jorge Lorenzo.
Unless you're Jorge Lorenzo or Rossi.